Thank you very much for being with me on this Tuesday, the 6th of August edition of the Marketplace. Let's start it all with this particular story. The Institute for Fiscal Studies says it is ready to help government to enact the tax exemptions bill. The bill aims at regulating the amount of exemptions granted to investors and corporate institutions, and it was laid before Parliament by the Ministry of Finance for passage into law. According to the IFS, Ghana stands to benefit immensely from the bill if government goes ahead with the plan. Addressing a post-budget review press conference a while ago, economist and fellow of the IFS, Leslie Dwight-Mensah, hinted that the policy think tank is ready to support government pursue the initiative.
So it's important that measures such as this, as well as other revenue measures, the impact of such measures are properly evaluated prior to their implementation. We think also that the government should move quickly to curtail exemptions in the tax regime, many of which are inefficient and costly. To this end, the passage of the exemptions bill is critical, and the IFS stands ready to provide inputs for the bill's refinement before enactment. As I pointed out, from the government's own estimates, the yield from passing that bill to deal with exemptions will be about 500 million, which is actually more than we're going to get from the recently announced tax hikes. So dealing with this is actually quite critical. A rapidly growing expenditure on goods and services, as I showed you, which has come at the expense of lower capital spending, should be controlled. Now let's remember that capital spending is what leads to the development of infrastructure, and you need infrastructure to improve productivity of the economy. Indeed, infrastructure spending underpins the long-term economic growth of the economy. So the trend that we are seeing is quite worrying.
Now, President of the African Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, has called for diversification of policies across the continent to support entrepreneurs. According to him, this has become critical due to the huge unemployment rate despite policies and programs initiated by various governments on the continent. Dr. Adesina was addressing some African presidents and entrepreneurs at the 2019 Tony Elumelu Foundation Forum in Abuja, Nigeria.
The biggest challenge for African entrepreneurs is access to credit for both startups and existing small and medium enterprises. Despite many policy initiatives to tackle the situation, most financial institutions are unable to provide low interest on credit. This is causing quite a number of small businesses to fold up, contributing to an increasing level of unemployment across the continent. Speaking at this year's Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Forum, President of the African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, said time has come for the creation of a financial agency responsible for investment opportunities for entrepreneurs.
The mixing institutions, the market failures, and the government failure. To do that, I propose that it's time that we begin to set up youth entrepreneurship and investment banks. Let me explain myself so that I'm very clear. A bank where you walk, or banks where you walk into, and they see assets, they don't see liability. Where you walk into, they have faith and confidence in young people who can actually help you to grow UBA and others, grow your business. What does this mean? That means that we have to de-risk lending to businesses of young people.
Founder of the Tony Elumelu Foundation, Tony Elumelu, charged the entrepreneurs to use the platform to create a change in the economy of Africa.
It's important to have the opportunity to prove your concept, your ideas, and that is why this kind of $5,000 is so important. Then we can scale that up. But if we don't give you the opportunity to prove your idea, you don't have the opportunity to scale up. And so we appreciate what the president is doing, and we would like them to do more to support young applicants. And the National Red Cross is wonderful, as I said yesterday. They were the first international partners we had, and they supported 200 entrepreneurs from the Niger Delta and the northeastern part of Nigeria, and now they are ready to do even more in fragile economy.
The Tony Elumelu Foundation has supported about 50 Ghanaian entrepreneurs this year with funding of $5,000. Ebenezer Sabute's report for Joy Business.
You're live on the marketplace on JoyNews. Now, staff of produce buying company PVC across the country demonstrated this morning at the head office of the company in Accra. They are, among other things, demanding the CEO of the company, Kofi Owusu-Boateng, resigns or be sacked. Describing him as inexperienced, coupled with a lack of vision, the workers are accusing the CEO of bringing the company's name into disrepute and also bringing the company to its knees. They say the company that once purchased 30% of Ghana's cocoa cannot even buy up to 15% in its current state. This, they say, has plunged the company into debts and affected their salaries. My colleague Nancy Emefa Jadosi was at the PVC headquarters to witness whatever went on today. She joins me in the studio for some more details. Emefa, you're welcome to the marketplace.
Thank you, Manuel.
So tell us what actually happened.
All right. So first of all, when I got there were a number of buses, that these demonstrators had brought from the various regions across the country, and their message was simple: that they wanted the CEO of the company out of the place, because according to them, ever since he came or took office, he accused the past government of leaving some debts and mismanaging stuff. But he has not been able to do anything. In fact, he has actually done worse, because they say that they've recorded the lowest purchase they've had in previous years.
Now, I believe you have some records with regards to their performance.
Yes.
What is that?
So I have for the past 6 years, so from 2013 to date. So it started from 32%. That's from 2013, 2014. Then the next year recorded 31. Then 2015, 2016 also 31%. But then when we got to 2016, 2017, we were able to just get 29%. And then 2017, we dropped again to 23%. And guess what? This year, they recorded 17%. They've been able to buy only 17% of cocoa on Ghana's market.
That's woefully inadequate.
Very inadequate.
Now, what else have the workers been saying or
so
been agitating?
They've accused the CEO of several things. The first thing is that he's engaged in family and friends, and so he's employed friends, children of his friends, to manage the company, and they feel that the people are not competent enough. They also say that he does loot and share. So what he does is that they said they were supposed to distribute some cars, some pickup cars to the various regions. But he used a different name to purchase some of the pickup vehicles. They also talk about diversion of fertilizers. They talk about the fact that he's unable to manage the thing properly because he takes some of the money for his own use.
And they have evidence to all these allegations?
Well, that is what they said. They said they have evidence of it, but they were unable to provide the evidence that they have been making. So it was when we got there that ICU also came. But before we also speak to ICU, let's hear what the workers have been saying.
Your board chairman, how do you call it? You see, Ajumano, omube two problem ayampa. But what it takes to change the company around, to turn the fortunes of the company around, they lack it. The board chairman was a very successful, MD of this very company, but now he's very old. We can't falter him. The man is very old. Yes, and he now is not able to control management. That is how come the company is sinking the more, please. The concerns of the workers is that we need a bailout. Number one. Number two, we need a letter of comfort from the government. And number three, we want the current management out. We want the current management change.
So that was CEO of the Produce Buying Company Limited. Now, back to Emefa. What else?
All right, so the CEO has been responding to these allegations. Kofi Owusu-Boateng, he denied all the allegations that have been made. He says he employs people based on their competence, not because they are related or whatsoever. And then he also went out to say that the reason why the company is on its knees is because the company is in debt. So he says the previous management owed several banks 640 million Ghana cedis, new Ghana cedis. Outstanding. And so anytime PVC makes profit, the banks automatically takes that amount from their bank account. And so they are unable to work with it. He also cited a few examples I want us to watch.
when I assumed duty, I saw that the company was in distress. So I wanted to find out why that situation. The best thing I could have done, and which I did, was that I wrote to Yoko to engage auditors, you see, to carry out forensic investigation into the affairs of the company, because I wanted to know why we were where we are now. And Yoko went out and then did the investigation. And I would say that the problem with the company is self-inflicted. I want to emphasize this. It's self-inflicted. It's not government. Government has given us money to work with. And then we have mismanaged the money, we have misapplied the money, and we have stolen the money. That is it. I would say stealing. The first one was, and then we engaged in some ventures which are not part of our core business. Our core business is to buy cocoa, evacuate, and send to cocoa board, and then take your money. But we ventured into share factory. And the share factory is one of our woes, because in the first place, the machines that we purchased for the share butter, instead of share butter machines, they purchased groundnut machines. Yeah, that is it. They purchased groundnut machines, and the very people who manufactured the machine were the very people who came to install the machines here. And from day one, the machines could not work. And then when they were asked to go and find those people, they said that the company was defunct. And so,
all right, so with our CEO of Produce Buying Company Limited, Kofi Owusu-Boateng. Now, what else now? What's the way forward for the traveling company?
All right, so the General Secretary for ICU, Solomon Kote, was present. Apparently, the workers had tabled the number of issues or concerns they had with him. And he says he met the president and they had a discussion. And at the end of it, the president assured them, gave them a commitment that by September, he was going to pump some amount of money to PVC as bailout so that they'll be able to settle all their debts. And then there'll also be a restructuring after that.
Many thanks for that update, MFA Nancy Jadosi is a reporter who has been covering the demonstration by the Produce Buying Company earlier this morning. Away from that, the Bank of Ghana is denying reports that the planned cleanup sector would happen today. It follows reports that after several warnings, the regulator is now set to move in today to close down those facing serious financial crisis. George Rafi has more in this report.
According to sources close to the Bank of Ghana, even though the action will eventually happen, it is not today. The regulator is also distancing itself from a list making rounds on social media that they are the ones that would be affected. The source noted that looking at the way things are happening, the planned action may not even happen this week. In a related development, the Association of Savings and Loans Companies is assuring depositors that their funds are safe despite the planned cleanup of the sector by the central bank. Chinebo Akodia-Boakye is the executive secretary of the Association of Savings and Loans Companies.
There are a lot of information going on there that are not supposed to be. They are not the reality. And there are a lot of media houses throwing some figures around and then saying Bank of Ghana is coming tomorrow, he's coming the following day. This has not been very helpful. And so institutions, those who were even very strong, are suffering from panic withdrawals. Customers are also not paying their loans because they think that very soon Bank of Ghana will be descending into the sector. Over the period, these comments have not helped matters. What we were expecting was that all the action that needed to be taken should have been taken without even telling the public that we are coming tomorrow or the following month, or it is not going beyond a certain period. It is our expectation that the regulator will come up soon before even those who are in good standing begin to suffer.
He also tells Joy Business they want the action to be fast-tracked because the delays are not helping the industry. One thing that we are sure of is that the planned cleanup would definitely happen before September this year. This has been confirmed by Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, and Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta.
The chief executive of the Ghana Chamber of Bulk Oil Distribution Companies, Senyor Hosi, is advocating for some investments to turn around the fortunes of existing petroleum storage tanks in the country, especially those within the Tema enclave. This, he believes, will send a positive signal to foreign investors that Ghana is ready to position itself as a petroleum hub for the sub-region. His comments follows ongoing discussions about the establishment of a petroleum hub within the Western region.
We have a lot of redistribution happening offshore Lomé. Can we have them done onshore Ghana? We have a lot of tanks in Ghana. Our utilization is woeful. How do we optimize that utilization? By trying to redirect the volumes that are redistributed from Lomé and have it redistributed from Tema. That's a low-hanging fruit we have to fix. We have a refinery that has a lot of infrastructure, and a good part of infrastructure too that is not as useful. Some minimal investment can rather trigger that into a major refinery base for Ghana. That may have to grow into a petrochemical thing. Do you want to move to to the Western region and have additional investment? Possibly. But whatever investments you have now, the market needs to see that you are able to optimize it. So if you come into this market, there's a value in your country. But if what you already have, you are not optimizing, why should people really come and do something else? So we need to make a market case, an operational case, and a policy case. So it's something that we are all working with the ministry on and to develop. And I think that it's a fantastic idea that we should operationalize as quick as possible before the days of fossil fuels become history.